Hi, it's Hinda and welcome to a new baking video on Cooking Fantasies. And today I have a new must-try recipe for you. We will be making raspberry rolls, and in this specific recipe I will be using a combination of all-purpose flour and whole wheat. And of course I will be giving you all the substitutes in case you want to use only whole wheat or only all-purpose flour. I wanted to go for individual rolls in a muffin form because I think they look cute and practical, but you can also, if you prefer, to bake it in a tray as you would do with cinnamon rolls. And if it's the case, I will also provide all the changes you can do to the recipe to make it in that shape, so make sure you watch till the end. And like always, I will leave down below in the description box all the ingredients you would need in both the grams and the cup measurements, so let's get started. We will start by making the dough, of course, so bring the milk to a boil on a medium heat, and as soon as you start seeing the little bubbles, remove it from the heat, add the butter and allow it to melt and then to cool down until it's lukewarm. Meanwhile, we will prepare all the dry ingredients for later. So in a big bowl or in the kneading machine bowl, mix together the yeast, sugar, all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour, salt, vanilla sugar, and finally the lemon zest. Then leave them on the side for later. And now once the milk and butter have cooled down, we will add the eggs one at a time and whisk well to incorporate. Now we will add wet ingredients to the dry ones we have prepared and mix together. And if you are using a kneading machine, you're gonna set it for 5 minutes. And if you're going old school hand kneading like me, then you're off for about 10 minutes hand kneading. And in both cases, you might need to be adding some all-purpose flour till the dough stops sticking either to the bowl sides or to the working surface. And now it's time to talk about the flours. If you want to use only all-purpose flour, you will get a lighter and fluffier rolls with more like a buttery taste to it. And if you want to go for a more healthier version, you can go ahead and follow the recipe to mix in some whole wheat, and the result will be a denser dough, and the taste is also nuttier and richer, and the rolls will be still soft and nice but more satisfying. The last version, which is using about 80% whole wheat flour, you're gonna have to add honey to the recipe and more hydration. I will leave the recipe down in the description box. If you use the kneading machine and when the 5 minutes are up, flour your working surface and work your dough for another 2 minutes with the hands till it's supple and stretchy. Then shape it into a bowl and place it back in the bowl, cover it and allow it to rise for at least 1 hour before proceeding. Meanwhile, we'll prepare the raspberry filling. Frozen raspberries are often the best choice when it comes to most baking recipes because they don't release as much juice. So add the cornstarch and the sugar to the raspberries, then add some lemon juice and allow them to sit on the cornstarch will absorb some of that juice. And now because we have plenty of time till the dough rises, it's also fun to make your own wrappers or muffin caps out of parchment paper because I like how rustical this looks. But of course you can use ready muffin caps, it's the same thing. And if you're taking that extra step, you will need to cut your parchment paper into 15 by 15 centimeter squares, that's 6 by 6 inches. Then find the glass in your kitchen which bottom fits in the muffin baking tray as shown in the video. Then take the bottom of that glass and wrap your parchment paper cuts around it, then place them back into the baking tray. After about 1 hour, the dough has nicely risen. Transfer it into a floured working surface and knead it gently and briefly to deglaze it. And now roll it into a 30 by 45 centimeter sheet that's 12 by 17 inches. And don't forget to be adding all-purpose flour as needed while rolling it out in order to prevent it from sticking to the working surface. Now it's time to add the raspberries, so give them a quick stir and spread them on the dough and leave about 1 centimeter on each side. Added some grated white chocolate because it nicely balances with the raspberries, and I would also suggest you to do so, but this is optional and you can skip this step. Now roll the dough from the longer side on, and then it's time to divide it. Use a sharp knife and cut it first into 2 pieces, then cut each half into 3, and finally each piece into 2. Then place each roll into a parchment paper cad or a muffin cup, and if you prefer to bake them together, you will be needing either a 25 centimeter round pan that's 10 inches diameter, or a 23 by 23 square pan, and that's 9 by 9 inches. I know this looks a bit creepy and graphic, but it's just cooking knife and some raspberries. Now cover the rolls, and I put a parchment paper under the kitchen towel because I don't want raspberries on the towel, and allow them to rest for at least 1 more hour. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 356 degrees Fahrenheit, and bake the rolls for about 22 to 24 minutes. And I would suggest to check on them after 15 minutes. If they are already golden brown, then you might want to cover them with some parchment paper and allow them to bake till the 24 minutes are over. If you are baking them together in one pan, then you will need to bake them for 5 to 10 minutes more. That's about 30 minutes baking time in total. For the glazing, mix the powdered sugar with the milk and glaze your rolls. I grated some white chocolate on top, and there you are. Raspberry rolls are really delicious, and they're perfect for breakfast or snack with a coffee or tea. They're just yummy, and I hope you will try them soon. And of course, if you still have any questions regarding the recipe, don't hesitate to ask me down in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video and you will be trying out this recipe. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you soon with a new recipe. Happy baking!